Alright, so now we're going to talk about the idea of sampling distribution for confidence intervals and how that really affects them, and definitely dealing with your confidence intervals and the percentage as far as how confident you are, as well as your sample size. Okay, so we'll play into this and see what happens with these. So we're going to use a little applet here that really helps out kind of explain these and go forward with it. So I'll put the link to this applet down in the description down below. And with this, we're going to say that we're 95% confident, okay? And we're going to do a sample size of 5 to start out with. So let's move the sample size down to 5. Now, with this, it gives us our normal curve here and how it plays out. And the green line there is our true mean, our actual parameter, saying that that's where our true mean is. So we're going to do one sample of size 5, kind of like we did in the previous exercise where we talked about confidence intervals, and we're going to see if this captures the true mean.
Daddy, get it in the room if you want that.
Alright, so we're going to take one sample here, and we did a sample size 5. As you see, the dots here played out, and the actual solid dot right there in the middle there, that's like our point estimate, okay, in which case it played out to be there, and therefore it actually came out to fall. The actual true mean value, the green line, falls within that range, that interval. Okay, let's do it again. Let's say we do it again. The second one works the same way. Third, fourth, fifth, sixth, 7, 8, 9, 10. Well, all 10 of our samples we did actually had the true mean value, the parameter, fall within the interval that it came up with for the 5, a sample size of 5 data values. Okay, so as it shows there, our percent hit 100%. So we were 90% confident, but overall, from the samples we took, we did 10 samples. Out of those 10 samples, every one of them, the true mean, that green line, actually fell within the interval. So that worked out for us. Let's try this though, and let's see what happens to our interval size and our margin of errors and see how that all plays out with this, okay? And let's change this. Let's see, let's go ahead and take, so let's reset this and let's take 100 samples of sample size 5, and we're still 95% confident. Let's see how many of those can actually include the parameter, that green value, the true mean value. So we did 25, all of them fell in line. Okay, we still hit percent 100%. Let's do another 25. We had a couple fall out there. The red right there fell out, so therefore only 96% of that one hit. We're still good. Alright, so out of 75, we had 97% hit. And out of 100, we saw 97% hit. So we had this guy right there. So with that, we were still good. So with this one, it still is around, well, not around, it is 97% confident that we had the true mean value fall within our intervals of 100 samples of sample size 5, okay? Again, our sample size was 5, so our N, as it lists there, was only 5. So like we did in our test scores, we took 5 test scores, and we did this 100 times, and 97% of the time, the actual true mean value fell within that interval, okay? Now, let's see what happens. We're going to reset this, and we're going to say our confidence level to 99. So we're 99% confident, okay? And with that, let's see what happens if we do this. Alright, so I clicked too fast there, so I reset this. Now in this case, I did another 100 samples, okay? So sample size 5, I did 100 samples. In this case, instead of 97, like on our previous one I just did, percent hit was 95. I got a little too trigger happy here and actually clicked too many times. I wanted to take, with y'all seeing this and seeing the actual interval width here, I wanted to increase the confidence level and let y'all see what happens to the actual interval size. So let's move it up to 99. So again, as we did in that example yesterday, or in the previous lesson with confidence intervals, when we said we were 99% confident, we had a bigger interval, right? We were a lot more confident that it would definitely fall in range, in which case this makes the actual interval expand. So our width increased. So as our confidence goes up, our width increases. Alright, so let's see what else we can do. Alright, so now I'm going to reset this. And let's go ahead and put our confidence level down to, let's say we're down to 80. Okay, and let's do 100 more centimeters. So with 80% confidence, we still had 85% hit. Okay, so that's still pretty good. We didn't have very many fall outside of the true mean value of the parameter. Okay, so with this, if you're asked to interpret that confidence level, if we make many 80% confidence intervals, we would expect about 80% of those to capture the true mean. That's what it's talking about, since we're saying our confidence level is 80. So again, alright, so for interpreting the confidence level, if we make many 80% confidence intervals, we expect 80% to capture the true mean. Again, just like when we did 95 and 99, if we make many 95% confidence intervals, we expect 95% to capture the true mean. If we make many 99% confidence intervals, we expect 99% to capture the true mean. So again, you can just change this percentage value depending upon whatever the percentage value is that you're asked for, okay? The percentage value can be changed whenever you're looking at it from the interpretation, in which case we dealt with 95, 99, and 80%, okay? So with looking at this, on dealing with these, let's see what happens if we adjust the sample size. So let's say we jump from 5, let's go to 50. Alright, so let's do 50. Let's do one interval. Look how small that guy is. Interval is pretty small. We did a sample size of 50. Alright, let's see what happens if we do it to 250. It's pretty much just the dot there. We can barely see that it has much of an interval overall. Okay? So with that, if you increase the sample size, the width goes down, right? So that width, again, is our margin of error, okay? So as you saw in there, guys, so let's write a different color here. Purple. So again, when we increased our confidence level, we increased our confidence level, and we increased our margin of error, right? When we went from 95 to 99, the width, so the margin of error got larger. When we increased our sample size, as you saw, the margin of error got smaller. Margin of error went down. So margin of error decreased, okay? So those are the big things to take away from. Confidence level increases, margin of error increases. Sample size increases, margin of error decreases. Okay? So, again, the big thing is, two big things with this. Interpreting the confidence level. If we make many, whatever percent confidence intervals, we expect that percent to capture the true proportion or mean value, okay? And then what affects the margin of error? As we've talked about, increasing the confidence level and increasing the sample size. And then also too, the margin of error never accounts for bias. That's just another little simple thing to definitely put in the back of your mind there and always think about when they talk about that. Margin of error never accounts for bias. Alright guys, so I hope you learned a little bit of something today, and I'll see you next time.